Today, I'm going to teach you how to properly patch a torn inflatable. My name's Glassett, owner of the Jump Off. Let's patch her up. Patching an inflatable is a pretty straightforward procedure. There's one trick I'm going to show you at the end that I invented that you're going to love. And then there's one thing that most people don't do I'm going to teach you that's kind of right here at the beginning. And you'll be able to properly patch an inflatable so it'll last and be safe. First things first, let me take you through all the stuff we're going to need. I've got my wash-off cleaner that you can buy on the Jump Off store. Got it diluted down into a spray bottle. I just keep these in every single truck, and I branded them Jump Off. I've got a rag, and I've got my HH66 vinyl cement. You can buy this on the Jump Off store as well. A pair of channel locks, because the lid to this always glues itself on. A Sharpie, scissors, a piece of old cardboard. This is only half the secret. The other half you're going to have to wait to see it. And your patch. I'm going to patch it in bright orange for the video so you can see where it's going on the black. Okay, so let's get our patch ready to roll. Now, it's appearing that I just shot this whole segment without recording it, so that's why this is all cut up. Basically what I did, I put a straight edge on the circle just so it'd make it easier for you guys. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a Sharpie. You're basically just going to match up the patch. So you obviously want it to go past the rip this way. We want it to go past the rip this way. And then we want it to be wider than the rip, which goes to there. So we want it to go about there. So then you just make yourself a square, kind of rudimentary. Then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut this square out. You need to make your edges rounded because if you don't, if they're sharp corners, they fall off. And then your patch falls off slowly but surely. Now you can make it a circle if you want to. I always make it a rectangle with rounded edges. It fits over there nice and neatly. Here is one of those things that I was telling you about that not a lot of people know. So we actually need two of these. The reason is we're not just going to glue it like this. We're actually going to glue one inside of there. Then we're going to glue one on top of here. So that way you've got adhesion from both sides. Makes it safer, makes it last longer. I'm going to make the one that goes inside a little bit tighter because it's a little difficult to get inside of there with glue on it. We're going with there, so we're going to cut this out. Then we're going to round our edges same way. And I just realized I'm about to teach you something that I don't think a lot of people at all know. So there's really actually a secret move at the end that I invented, and then the proper way to do this here in just a second. Okay, so there's our inside patch. There's our outside patch. So here's where my trusty cardboard comes in for round one. Okay, we're going to use it again later for something. We're going to come in here with our inside patch. Got this. You can use a paper towel, you can use whatever you want, but this is to wipe excess off of that. Because when it goes inside, you obviously don't want to glue the inflatable to itself inside it. So the reason that I use this little piece of cardboard is just so I don't get glue all over everything. It's just kind of here to catch the extras. Now on this first patch, I try to be pretty careful to paint it moving outward so as to not get any glue on the other side of the patch. It can be kind of hard because if it slides the teeniest bit, it's going to happen anyways. You don't need a rush here, okay? If this glue gets a little bit tacky, that's okay. It's not a race. I'm just going to check the underside here. Yeah, we're good, no glue. Here comes the little bit of skill, or I feel like a surgeon at this part. So you've got to get this inside of here. Now, if you are patching this and it's not rolled up, this is a little bit easier because you can separate the layers. So this part's kind of on hard mode. This is a 25-foot water slide. I'm not too excited to roll it back up myself, so we're going to do it this way here. The next thing we're going to do here is we're getting into expert territory. So not a lot of people know this. We're going to put our patch down. We're actually going to trace very crudely around the patch onto the inflatable with our Sharpie. Then what we're going to do is we're going to actually put glue onto the inflatable, and we're going to put glue on our patch. The reason we're going to do that, vinyl cement is either designed to hold to itself or just holds better to itself. I'm not sure. But either way, we're going to glue to glue, not glue to inflatable. Obviously, inside the inflatable, we didn't do this, but that's because you kind of can't. Now we're going to go hit our patch here, and mine is not symmetrical. I got to make sure to keep it lined up here to where my asymmetrical glue is on my inflatable. Basically, you're just going to lather this up. No big deal. This is just something that I do. I kind of put a thinner layer on the inflatable and leave it alone, and then I try to cake this one up kind of thick. seal this up real quick. That way we don't ruin it. So while the glue is kind of clear like that or translucent, it's not ready to go. I put that thinner layer on here because it's already drying, and I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, but it's already kind of getting hazy. So what we're actually gonna do with this one is we're gonna hit it with some air. Now you could do this with a heat gun, a blow dryer, whatever. I just blow on it, or I'll do the fan move. You can see as I blow on it, it starts to get hazy. Is we want it to stay hazy. We don't want it to get translucent again. All right, that is looking pretty good. Our patch here is looking good. We still need to add a little bit of air to this because it's not all the way hazy. So flip it over and we basically glue to glue, just like that. If you do that right, it will be rather tacky and sticky right off the bat. Here comes my secret move, the sandbag. So check this out. What I do is I take my crappy piece of cardboard, I stick it over my patch, and then I throw down a sandbag on top of it. There you go. Now it's got 50 pounds of weight on it, and I just leave this as long as possible. Longer the better. Now you can patch an inflatable. You're welcome.